Hello friends, welcome back to Education Infotech channel. Today we're gonna discuss about rotor transformation day 10. So rotor transformation it will play a major role in our daily implementation mapping. Okay, because we have to route the data in different target tables. Okay, this is one of important transformation in Informatica, whether it is a Informatica Power Center or IICS. So we will use this router transformation in many use cases. So let's discuss one by one. Okay. First of all, what is multiple output groups and what is conditional based routing and what is default output group and how we can write multiple conditions. Okay. It will support for active or passive groups. So router transformation is basically a passive active transformation, but based on the scenario, it will act like as a passive also. If you see here, like most transformations supports both active and passive, right? So active ports change the number of roads that flow through the transformation. If you see here, filter transformation, it is a active. Why? Because let's say if we pass 10 columns to the filter transformation and you are applying some filter condition. So based on that condition, it is giving you only the three outputs. So in there is a change in number of rows. So there is a change in number of rows, then we call it as a active transformation. If there is no any change, then we call it as a passive. So what are the examples for active and passive? If you take expression transformation, it is a active transformation. If you take sorted transformation, so there also sorter it's like everyone will tell like a passive transformation because there is no change in input and outputs. But in sorter, if you sort based on key column, so there the columns will change, right? So there will be change in the rows. So in that way we call it as a active transformation. So you will be asking this in your interview. Most of the people will tell like sorted is a passive transformation, but you need to give the differences. As I said, in sorted, if you don't sort like ascending or descending, then it is a passive transformation. But if you select the key column, whether you want to sort and ascending or descending, if you select any one of that, then it will become as a active transformation. So that is the major difference. So please keep it in your mind, okay? And multiple conditions. So we can write here and or, okay, and we do have other conditions like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. So we can write whatever the conditions we write in filter transformation, right? All those we can write in rotor transformation as well. So based on that, it will route the data to the target tables. Each condition is independent. So we will be writing the conditions in the group file. Okay, if you have like two groups, you have to write in each group based on your requirement, you have to write the conditions. So that is the meaning of this. Each condition is independent and multiple conditions can exist for each output. And we do have when you create a groups in retro transformation, you'll by default whenever you selected the router transformation, by default you will be having a default output group. Okay, if row doesn't meet any of the conditions in the condition which you have defined in the group in your specific group. So if that condition is not met, then the whatever the conditions are not met, right? Those data will go to the default group. If you configure, what does this mean? If configure means if you connected the default group to the target table, if you are configured this, then you will get all the records which are not met to the conditions will be passed to that particular table. So when we'll use these kind of scenarios, so let's say you are getting files from the upstream applications, okay, you are processing, and in your mapping you have designed like the error handling, where if you are getting unexpected characters or unexpected data from the upstream application, so those we call it as a bad records. Okay, so we can configure if we get any records from the upstream application, so those should be go to the default group, and this default group will be connected to the uh, particular table. Let's say we call it as a bad target tables. Okay, so those data will be passed to that target table, bad record table. So in that way, we can analyze the job and we can send it to the upstream application saying that these are the bad records we got it. Please try to fix the issue and resend it in the coming days. So in that way, we need to send out an email to the upstream application. So that's the purpose of default output group. So this is also you will get a interview question and condition based routing. So as I said, if we want to route the data based on condition, we can route the data and multiple output groups. So for that, we will be creating the output groups then. Okay, now what we'll do, there are some use cases here. Just go through this document and try to implement this example, okay? Where employees with a salary greater than 10,000, 50,000. Okay. You try to do this. I have given all step by step how to configure router and what are the groups you need to define and what are the conditions you have to specify. I have mentioned all the things here. Just try to do this. We will now we'll practically see one example. Okay. So I have here file regions. So what I'll do, I have here ID, name, salary. Okay. And the country. So what I'll do, I'll just route the data based on the country. You see here, we have 5 countries: Africa, Dubai, India, New Zealand, USA. So I'll be creating 5 target tables. So I'll be segregating based on the countries region, based on the region data. Okay, all records of India should load it into one target, India table target. So in that way, I'll be loading all the 5 region tables. Let's see now. So log into your Informatica Power Center. Log into your Informatica Power Center. Okay. Go to mapping here. Create a mapping. So I'll be naming it as router trans region. Okay. Regions. Source. So it's a flat file. If we have target tables also, we can, if we have the same data in the table, we can also route the data. So it is a flat file, right? So it's flat file. Select the file. It is a regions.csv. It is a common delimited file. So we need to select the format also. So by default, it have from second row. I need to load the data. Okay, if you want, we can review the data here, whether Informatica is able to connect to the source connection. Okay, so we are getting the data. If you go and check here, these are the fields. Partition, we'll discuss this later. Now, what I have to what I'll do here, just for practice purpose, I'll just create expression. And what I'll do here is I'll just trim all the columns. Okay, Ma- make sure that there are no extra spaces. So this is out ID, which is the integer. Okay, ID name, salary, country. ID name. This is a string. Keep that in. ID name, salary, country. Salary is a decimal, and the last column is country. Country string, right? Uh, 20, 20. So I'll configure each columns here. So what I'll do, I'll just trim. I'll trim or trim of ID. Is valid. Salary and then country. Okay. So here make sure that the data types, check the data types properly. And in source, since it is a file, we need to change the data types here. You see, it is taking it all as a string wise. So what I'll do, I'll just edit it. So it is the number. The session is 10. Name, it is a string. Salary. Salary is a this not there. I'll keep it as number. Country. Country is a string. Okay. And to the expression also we are passing the same. So country string ID decimal number decimal integer string number decimal string. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just take a router transformation. If you click on this, so you will get incoming fields, right? These are the incoming fields. Which one we need to take from the expression? Okay, from the expression, the output fields we need to take. So if you go here, so by default there will be one default group will be there. If you want to give any conditions to it, we can give it, or else create a group, make it like the India. Okay, configure. Here also we'll be having an advanced, simple and all things. Okay, so what I have to do, out country equal to India. Okay, so that's how I'm creating. In same way, so let me check that file. Africa, next I'll create Africa. So Africa should go to the out contest Africa. Next, Dubai. So this is how I have created. And if you want here, other than this, should go to the default group. Okay. Field condition. Okay. I think by if we configure the target table is default group, then none of if the region is not satisfied on these conditions, then it by obviously it will go to the default group. Okay, now we have this. Now what we need to do? We need to create a 5 targets, right? 5 targets. So if you click on this plus symbol, we'll see all the groups, right? So first I will take it as a India. This is T underscore India. Next T underscore Africa. Next Dubai. Next New Zealand. The next is USA. So I have created 4 target tables. So what I have to do now is I need to configure. So I need to select the target. Since I haven't created any target tables, so let's quickly create that. So we go to underscore India. So these are the tables which I'm gonna create. Okay. So I have created all the target tables here. If you see India, Africa, Dubai, USA, and New Zealand. So what I'll do, I'll just select the tables here. So the first one is India, right? So I'm selecting India here, T underscore India. And these are the target fields. Field mapping you need to select. First, I'll just load all the tables here. This is Africa. Next, Dubai. Next is New Zealand. And the last one is USA. So now I'll just map all the groups to the tables. So India should go to India table, and Africa should go to Africa, Dubai to Dubai, New Zealand to New Zealand, and the last one is USA to USA. If you see here, we do have a default, right? If you want, we can create the default also. Let me quickly create default region. Okay. So here what I'll do, I'll create one more table. So I'll keep this default and I'll mark the default to default. Here, so here the target is default, right? It's not USA. Default region. Okay, I mean I'll quit. So all tables shall before loading I'll be truncated. So and what else we have? Yeah, we need to map the target table fields now. Field mapping. So always map with the from the expression what are the columns you are getting from expression. So that you need to map it. Okay. Name to name, salary to salary, country to country. So India, ID to ID, name, salary, country, Africa, ID to ID, name to name, salary to salary, country to country. Next, Dubai. If you do smart map, right, it will take the exact matching fields only. So for that only, I'm doing manual mapping. If you want, we can filter the columns here as well. If you here, if you see the incoming fields, right, we can exclude and include the fields also. So in that way, we can do the auto mapping. Here, including all fields, right? What I'll do, I just exclude name fields, configure ID, country, name, and then salary. Okay. So now if you see, we are getting only the expression column. So if you go here, we can map it accordingly. In that way also you can do. New Zealand, what I'll do, I'll just exclude the columns here. Exclude name fields, country ID, name, and then salary. Okay. If you go mapping, field mapping, you'll get only the expression. Now do the smart map. So you should have all the options in your mind so that you can design the mapping very quickly. Even if you practice in this way, okay, in the interview, most of the companies they are asking whether you have the experience or not, how they will check, right? So they will be asking you all the properties. In each transformation, what are the properties you have? So that they will check. So if you tell them immediately, no, so they will think like that, okay, he has a hands-on experience. So in that way, you need to impress the interviewer. So I think we are done with now. So what I'll do, I'll just arrange all. Now save it. I'll close this because we need to run the mapping, right? So one, close it. The mapping was saved successfully. So, and it is valid. So if you want to troubleshoot before running, you can just click on this router. You can preview the data, whether we are getting the expected output or not. Let me debug this, run preview. So the data preview has been finished. So we are getting the expected output. Okay. Here you can see the output group set default. So click on this India. So here we are getting zero record and Africa. So Africa also we are not getting. Why? What is the issue here? You click on this default, right? All the records are in default only. See, all the country records are in default groups. So go here, go to properties. So click on output groups. Here default we don't have any condition, right? So what I'll do, I'll just remove this. Select, arrange all, save it. We are getting the data till here, and here from here if you see, yeah, okay, go to advanced, yeah, edit filter conditions, out country equal to India, validated. Expression is valid only. So we will preview the data again. So in this way, you have to debug the mapping which you have created. I'll just rerun it. Might not refresh. See here what happened. So now we are getting India records. You know what is the reason? I'll explain you. So why I'm doing like this? Because uh, for learning purpose, I'm doing like this. So that you will face the issues while you're practicing. You will be getting the errors in this way. So I am teaching you from the ground level. So if I take one example and without any errors, if I show you the job has been success. So in that way, you will not be able to understand. If you get any errors right while you are practicing, so to whom you will ask, you cannot ask here, right? Because I'm posting the videos in YouTube. So if it is an face online session, then you might ask me in the next session, okay? Whatever you face the issues, you might ask me in the next session. But here it is online, right? So the interaction is not there between me and you. So for that purpose only, I am I am explaining here from the ground level how a fresher or a candidate who wants to learn ISS in how he will think and how he will do the mistake. So in that way, I am explaining here so that if you get this kind of error, then and there itself you will be you will get an answer, right? So it will save your time and you don't have to worry about if you get any errors, how can I resolve it? And you need to search again, you need to Google it, you need to go to the videos, you need to see the lot of videos and the whatever the error you get right, the same error will not be you will not get in YouTube. So for that you need to search a lot. So your time will be wasted at that point of time. So for to considering all these things, I am explaining from the ground level how while designing mapping, how the errors will occur, how you are going to design the mapping, what is the output one, what is the expected result. So everything you need to consider while designing the mapping. So the thing here is I'll create here default before I created, right? default region. This is the table, right? I'll explain you. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just select this one. Default region. Yes, I want to use field mapping. Connect this default to the default one. Output name, salary, country. So here, before we previewed the data here, right, from router. So what we got? So we are getting all the records into the default group. So as I said earlier, if the condition is not met, okay, if you see here, multiple condition and here default output. If a row doesn't meet any of the conditions in the defined output group, it can be sent to the default output group if configured. So we configured here. So we have the default group, we configured it, and we have the output groups India, okay, India, Africa, Dubai, New Zealand, USA. If in each group we have defined the condition. If that condition is not satisfied, then the record will be put to the default group. Okay, so you see here we are getting all the records in default group. In sense, whatever the condition we have given in the output group, it's not satisfying. So for that purpose only we are here, we are not able to see any data in the output group. If you see Africa, we are not getting data, and Dubai also we are not getting. See, we are not getting. For India we are getting. Why? Why we are getting only for India? Why? Because click on this, go to router, output group. Here what we have given India, it is in capital letters, right? All are in capital letters, and here also in condition we have given the capital letters. Okay, if you check the source file, if you check the source file, here the starting letter is capital and all in case sensitive, right? So for that it is not matching. So the condition is not matching. What I have done is I have made India is in a capital letter. Then I rerun the job. Now it is taking. Now it is taking India because we have given here in capital letter. So everything is we need to consider. So we need to thoroughly analyze the source files and what are the conditions we have given in how we have written the condition. So whether the characters is exactly matching with the source file, it is matching or not. So everything we need to consider. We cannot just do like okay, we have the source file, okay, we have loaded into the source, okay, we this is the condition. We cannot write in which way we want. So there should be some rules and guidance will be there. How you write in that way we will get the output. Okay. So you need to be very cautious on the while designing the mapping. Take time, whether it is a simple mapping also. Let's say if you have source, expression, target, that's it. If you have only three transformations in your mapping, be thorough with that. Okay. Be cross check multiple times. You cross check multiple times what is there in the source. What are the fields are there, how the fields are mentioned, how the fields names are coming from the source file. And if you done any logic, if you have written any logics in the next expression, so how you have written it, so how you have mentioned the column names here, whether it is matching with the source transformation fields or not. So you need to cross check all the things. Here I have mentioned all in case sensitive, right? So till here I'm getting the data. Till router I'm getting the data. If you see here, incoming fields are also from expression. I have in a case sensitive only. Here output group. So I'll come to the output group. We have here I have mentioned it all in a capital X. So that's why it's not able to match this criteria and it is pushing all the records to the default group. Now what I have to do, either you make it as a source, like source, or you just rename it. You cannot rename it in real-time projects, right? So you need to modify your logic based on the source, based on the business criteria. So what I'll do, so this is a table group name. It's not a problem here. The expression here we have given, right? So this we need to change it. So what I'll do, so I'll make it like this only. So how we are getting from the source, same only I'm writing here. So Africa also. So this is how we need to write Dubai. Before writing, if you are doing any conditions, just check once, okay? To the source tab. Understand? USA is in capitals only. So USA is in capitals. India, what I'll do, I'll make it as India. So now we have enough proper format, right? So now we modified it and let's save it. Now if you run the mapping, all the records will be loaded in now if you see in default there should be zero records. Okay, let's check. Hmm, what? Okay, now let's check in the, so all these 300 records were loaded into the default. Okay, so if you are previewing the data in the mapping, in between the mapping also you will get all these in the my jobs tab only. Okay, don't worry about this. So now we got 470 records. Okay, we go and check here from source 470 and it has been divided in all as 94 94. If you see here a default, so it is 0, which means the condition whatever we have given in the output group, it is 100% satisfying. Okay, so for that purpose only, it has loaded the proper records into the respective target tables, and in default, since the all conditions are matching, so any bad records are not going to the default group. In default, we can see the zero record. Now let's check here. So in India, we have the all the record. So if you see, we are getting only the India records. Okay, 94 records. We have got that. So in India and USA, New Zealand, Africa, Dubai. So India, we check. These are all the USA records. All are USA. And New Zealand, these are all New Zealand records. These are Africa and these are all Dubai. If you check default, it will be 0. Okay, there are no records are loaded. So in that way, in real time, we will be comparing the default records for the bad records or rejected record, so that we can check here. So white has been rejected, and we can cross check it to the source file, and we can inform to the upstream applications. So I'm hoping it's a clear video on this rotor transformation. Okay, and I have given you some examples here. You can try out these as well. I hope you guys has understood this scenario very well. I'm hoping you will not forget, and if you practice this, you will not forget in coming days. Okay. Okay, guys. This is all about today's session. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Keep supporting me, so I'll be uploading amazing videos, and in future I'll be coming up with a new idea. Soon I'll be uh, explaining you about that idea. Okay. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep supporting me. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. Please do like this video. Thank you. We'll meet in the next session. Have a great day. Bye.